Hi guys, welcome back to the channel for our second Japanese Market Tuesday. And before I get started, little disclaimer, I do not have ownership of some of the pictures I'm using in this video. I am just translating the information and relaying it so that you guys can make the best decisions for your collection or investment purposes. So let's get started with September 10th, so that's last Wednesday. On Wednesday, we had this 10 box passing the 200,000 yen bar. That's amazing. I really want this box to go even higher than that, and I'm sure it will over time. And it follows the pattern of the Pikachu and Beauty looking back, which we've seen last week. We also had a great reprint announcement. Terastal Festival is going to get a reprint coming in October. The box is now selling for around 14,000 yen. And this is possibly the last reprint, as the Pokemon Company will switch towards the new high-class packs from November. But we might see further reprints after that. So if I remember well, Shiny Treasure was still findable on shelves after Terastal Festival released. So great news. We also have the Pikachu SV001 continuing its climb, now selling for 5,000 yen. That's great, and with potentially millions of copies out there, I'm wondering how high it can go. So let's say Van Gogh Pikachu showed us that population numbers doesn't mean anything anymore. So moving on to September 11th, first day. So talking about the Van Gogh Pikachu in a PSA 10 selling for 290,000 yen. As a reminder, it was selling last week for 200,000. That's a crazy jump in a week. McDonald's promo pack, another jump. Same thing, 7,000 yen for the promo pack. That's crazy, going from 4,000 yen last week to 7,000 this week. And we have the 25th anniversary golden box, now selling for 135,000 yen. I had the chance to buy that box for like 30 to 40,000 yen 2 years ago, and I didn't do it. I regret it so bad. But good news is, for those of you who already have it, with the 30th anniversary coming up next year, it's very likely for the 25th anniversary items to move up even more than that, right? Both Japanese and English items. So we'll see what happens. September 12th, Friday. Yunagaba Pikachu PSA 10 selling for 40,000 yen. I already told you what I think about this card. I'm not the biggest fan, but it's a great collection item. So if you want it in your collection, you can try to get either way the PSA 10 or the single. Both of them are going up anyway. And SV001 continues its climb, 6,000 yen. It looks like this card is going up every single day. But now, new item here. So the Hiroshima special box, now out, right? So it just released this week, selling for 34,000 yen. Here. Just as a reminder, soon after its release, the Tohoku special box was selling for, if I remember well, 28,000 yen. So this one is more expensive than the Tohoku special box. Not a surprise. We have Gyarados, shiny Gyarados on it, who's a fan favorite. Ultimately, I think this one and the Fukuoka one featuring Latios and Latias are going to be the two most expensive. I don't know which one is going to be top one. We'll see when the Fukuoka box releases. Moving on to Saturday, Hiroshima special box again, this time at 40,000 yen. So that's very interesting because usually soon after release, the price of these boxes tend to move down, right? But this one actually went up. That's crazy. And it might have something to do, might or might not, with the fact that the first Hiroshima Pikachu promo PSA 10 was sold the very same day for 130,000 yen. That's around $900. And that's crazy expensive for a card that just released. But I think the Tohoku Pikachu is doing like more or less the same, because it's very hard to get them in a 10. They often come with dents, so yeah, due to the way they are packaged. Supercharged Breaker selling for 14,000 yen. That's a new high. The box has been moving up and down consistently since its release. Soon after release, it went up all the way to 12,000 yen. Then we had several waves of reprint, went down. I think 9,000 yen was the low for this box. And since then, it's been, grinding its way back up and now selling for 14,000 yen. So that's even if we get new reprints for the set, which is possible, it's going to be very hard to get a shrink wrap box, right? The new rules set by the Pokemon Company makes it very difficult for resellers to sell the box as is. Most of them will just remove the shrink wrap and sell it to you without the shrink wrap. So, I'm not sure as to how future reprints will impact the price of the seal box. We'll see. Next, we got the Greninja EXSAR PSA 10 selling for 62,000 yen. We had a big jump since last week for this card. It's probably due to the fact that Mega Greninja has been confirmed in the next set Ninja Spinner, which is scheduled for next year. So 62,000 yen in a PSA 10, that's not a bad price at all. And I wouldn't be surprised if Crimson Haze was following the same pattern over the next few weeks. Moving on to Sunday, Glory of Team Rocket back in the 10,000 yen range. That's good. The box was selling for close to 20,000 at release. It crashed down all the way to 9,000 because the Pokemon Company was just printing it to oblivion. And now it's back up. Now, it's important to note that in October, the briefcases are going to be delivered. So we might see more sealed boxes on the market, which might bring the price down a little bit. So if you want to buy Glory of Team Rocket, I'd recommend waiting until October once the briefcases are out in the market, and then you can make your purchase. Magikarp AR trading for 15,000 yen raw. Okay, I'm talking about the card raw. And 15,000, that's expensive. We're talking, of course, about cards that are well centered, because in Japan, centering is probably the biggest issue, especially with latest sets. Triplet Beat will rotate out in January, so I don't see this card going down anytime soon. Fukuoka Special Box, we talked about it 2 days ago. Already on sale, and that's funny, for 51,000 yen. The box hasn't released, okay, don't get me wrong. It hasn't released. I think it's scheduled for maybe later this month, maybe last week of September. I don't remember. But you can already find it online. Somehow, people are selling it on Sneakerdunk. 51,000 yen. That is by far the most expensive of the free boxes. I don't know whether it's going to stay this way after release, but for now, that's how it is. And then we move to Monday. So the Bengal Pikachu continues to rise, 310,000 yen. It's insane. Like, this card is going to go past the ponchos. Magikarp AR PSA 10 selling for 26,000 yen. So yes, it's expensive for an AR card, but when you think about it, 15,000 yen for the raw copy, right? So the PSA 10, to me, sounds like a better deal, right? For less than twice the price of the raw card. So, in my opinion, if you want the Magikarp, just go for the PSA 10 in this case. Now, big announcement here, okay? Yesterday, we had a no rarity Kairiki Charizard. So if you don't know the Kairiki Charizard, that's a no rarity with a printing error. Okay, that there is a typo on the card. Charizard is supposed to be a fire type Pokemon, but somehow on that card, it's not a fire type Pokemon. It's, I don't know how you would translate it. It will be like super strong Pokemon. I think that's what it says. It's Kairiki in Japanese. So there are a few copies. It's not a one-off thing. There are a few copies out there, but they are even more rare than the average no rarity Charizard, which is already very rare in for what it is. So this week, Golden sold a copy, a PSA 10 no rarity Kairiki Charizard for 94.76 million yen. In US dollars, that's 641,721 USD. That's crazy. That makes it the most expensive Charizard ever sold. It beats by far the first edition Shadowless Charizard sold in March 2022 for 420,000. But at the same time, we have 124 copies of first edition Charizard on the market, while there are only 10 copies of no rarity Charizard on the market. So that, This explains a lot. And finally, let's have a look at the booster box prices. So we can see that this is a bit more nuanced this week. Some boxes went down. We can see Violet, Scarlet went down. Triple Beat went up quite a lot, actually. Snow Hazard went down. Clayburst went down. So it's very mixed this week, right? We do have 3 winners. So our number 3 of this week is Supercharged Breaker, went up from 13,200 yen to 13,999. So that's a 799 yen up. Number 2, we got Triple Beat, 11,500 yen, all the way up to 12,390 yen. That's an 890 yen climb. And number 1, that's Rulers of the Black Flame. Yay! I'm never going to stop cheering for that set. Up 900 yen from 12,000 yen to 12,900 yen. That's it. That's all I have for you today. I'll see you again next week. And of course, if you're after any of these Japanese items, don't forget my Patreon. By subscribing to Patreon, you get access to the latest Pokemon fire sales in Tokyo, as well as a unique possibility to order any Japanese item directly through me without any commission. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Leave a like, it's always appreciated. A comment if you feel like it. And if you really enjoy my content, please share it around you. It really does help the channel. Thank you for watching. Bye.